E-learning is here to stay. E-learning has taken its space. E-learning is the future to the nation. शायद ये सब बातें सुनने में आप सबको नहीं लगे. Amid COVID-19 situation, the pedagogical evolution and the use of technology in the educational sector have turned all its focus onto the Indian educational market, making the country the second largest market for e-learning after USA. But hold on, does this e-learning has brought a spectacular change? In the next 5 minutes, let us have a small discussion. What are the problems faced by the students? Why this e-learning has brought up to be a most important part in our life? Why the market shares and the business is rising day by day? Hi there, I am Rajat. Let's open up. ये अब की बात नहीं है. Since 2014, the market shares for e-learning had been rising all over the world. Let's talk about our country, India. In India, where the market shares for e-learning was only 11.9 billion US dollars in 2018, now it rose to 18 billion US dollars in the current session. और जहां तक रिसर्चर्स की माने, it is expected to reach 123.9 billion Indian national rupee with the end of 2024. E-learning important क्यों है? Why it is turning to be one of the most significant one in today's era? Number 1, they are flexible. You need not to choose a fixed place or a fixed environment. As of your will, you could choose one of the environment where you could be fit. Number 2, the wide subject selection. आपकी choices के हिसाब से, आपके interest के हिसाब से आप अपने subjects को खुद choose कर सकते हैं. You need not to stick to the old classroom or the traditional ways of classroom studies. Number 3, and the most important one in my opinion, cost effective. When you read online, when you go for the online or the e-classes, you save your money. आपकी transportation की cost, आपकी infrastructure की cost, आपकी print books की cost, you make all those a savings. Or is a type of business. चलिए अपने से क्वेश्चन पूछिए, अपने से सवाल कीजिए, whether the rural people out there, whether the semi-urban people out there are getting benefited from this, whether the e-learning is really cost effective. I must say no. Everybody knows that the market shares are rising, the business is growing day by day. बड़े बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन, बड़े बड़े ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स इसको एक बिजनेस का जरिया मान चुके हैं. चलिए एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं. Let's say I'm opening an institution for physics, chemistry and mathematics where I am charging or taking rupees 15,000 per head per year, where I am also taking only 40 students into my batch, where I'll be making an income of 6 lakh, that is 15,000 into 40. Then after that, if I am paying rupees 1,000 to the 3 teachers involved over there for 1 hour class regularly, then they will be taking something around 3,65,000 rupees from me. And afterwards, after giving the money to them, I'll be making a profit of rupees 2,35,000. Just think for a moment, if in a small amount of rupees 15,000, I'm making a profit of 2,35,000, just think of the big and branded institution or the online platforms. How much money they are making, how much scholars are being admitted in an institution, how many classes they are taking per day. According to the RTE guidelines or the RTE Act 2009, we had been knowing that a total number of 40 students should be admitted in a classroom, not more than that. But what's the truth? The truth is an iron. The JEE aspirants, the NEET aspirants, the UPSC aspirants, all the competitive examination aspirants could relate that how many students, how many total number of students get admitted in a particular class. पर हमें फर्क ही क्या पड़ता है? Does it even make sense? The student-teacher interaction lags technically. The individual planning by the teacher for each student lags. The following 5P methodology, that is engage, explore, explain, elaborate and evaluate, lags. टीचर्स रैंकर्स और बैंकर्स के बीच में फर्क करना शुरू कर देते हैं. एज अ रिजल्ट, मेनी स्टूडेंट्स स्टार्ट्स लूजिंग देयर इंटरेस्ट एंड दोज स्टूडेंट्स इग्नोर दोज ई क्लासेस, दे टेक स्ट्रेस एंड स्टार्ट्स मोकिंग टीचर्स. So the question arises, what could be done or what should the students do over here? Number 1, let's not get trapped under the marketing schemes of the big and branded institution. It is not necessary or it is not mandatory to run before the branded and big institution or the big online platforms. It is not always important to throw money to them. Number 2, stop being manipulated by them. Number 3, if you are getting admission in a big institution, first ask for a demo class. If you could feel convenient, you could choose that. I strongly support institutions like Upadhyay who are trying or working really hard to get the quality education by following proper methodology and the most important thing, being the cost efficient among other institutions in Bhubaneswar. खुशी इस बात की है कि India has emerged as the second largest market for e-learning after USA. पर दुख इस बात की है कि आज भी पोअर सेक्शन के स्टूडेंट, अंडर प्रिविलेज स्टूडेंट पीछे रह जा रहे हैं। खुशी इस बात की है कि इंडिया इज डेवलपिंग एंड इट इज ग्रोइंग डिजिटली डे बाय डे। बट दुख इस बात की है कि आज भी कई जगह ऐसे है इंडिया के जहां इंटरनेट की फैसिलिटी, ई लर्निंग की फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल नहीं है। एंड बाय एवरिंग यू गाइज अबाउट द फैक्ट, इट डज मेक्स अ सेंस टू मी।